Hi Nana. We were learning about types of conjugation. Okay. So in that we have seen several types of conjugation. Now, uh, fifth type of conjugation is pi bond radical conjugation. What is radical? Radical means any atom or else any group of atoms. For example, let us take chlorine. So this is chlorine atom. Okay. So if it contains an unpaired electron on it, okay, so that then it is said to be radical. Actually, suppose in a chlorine molecule there is a bond between two chlorine atoms. So if this bond is broken, what happens? If this bond is broken, a pair of electrons, actually a bond means a pair of electrons. So if this bond is broken in such a way that, so each chlorine will get one electron. Okay, each chlorine will get one electron. In such a way, if the bond is broken, then the so formed the resultant structure is said to be radical. So this is chlorine radical. This is also chlorine radical. So like that. So radicals are formed during the breakage of bonds between the atoms or group of atoms. Okay, such atom or else such group of atoms sometimes. For example, CH4. Let us take CH4. In CH4, so four hydrogen atoms are attached to carbon. So like this. Suppose if one bond is broken, in such a way that, the two bonded electrons, they are shared equally by both the atoms. Now the resultant structures are said to be radicals. So this is hydrogen radical and this is called as methyl radical. Okay, like this radicals are formed. So that is called as radical. So pi bond. So whenever pi bond is in conjugation with a radical, so for example, take this example. So I'll explain you this one clearly. So this entire thing is a radical. And here actually this carbon atom is having a lone pair. It is having unpaired electron. So here there is a possibility of conjugation, because when a pi bond or else a double bond, if it is separated by a radical, it is separated from a radical by a single bond, then these two will involve in conjugation. In a molecule, if a pi bond and an atom having unpaired electron. So now this is an atom having unpaired electron. So if pi bond and an atom having unpaired electron are separated, so this pi bond and an atom having unpaired electron, okay, these two are separated by a single bond. They are separated by a single bond. Then conjugation takes place between pi bond and unpaired electron. So now between the pi bond and unpaired electron, conjugation takes place. So what happened during this process? How the conjugation takes place? See, look here. So this pi bond, already we know pi bond electrons are weak. The bond is weak bond and electrons can be broken down easily. They can be separated easily. So that what happens? So here a pi bond. So pi bond means a pair of electrons. Out of one pair of electron, so this is broken down into a pair of electron initially. Now one of the electron from pi bond, it is shifted to here. See, as only single electron is shifted, so we have to use Fischer hook arrow. It is called as Fischer hook arrow. FIS CHER HOOK. Okay, Fisher hook arrow. So here, whenever only single electron is transferred from one place to another place, then we have to use a Fisher hook arrow. Okay. Now another electron from this pi bond, it is shifted to this carbon atom. It is shifted to this carbon atom. Now one electron, the unpaired electron which is present on this carbon, it is shifted to here. So now this unpaired electron and this unpaired electron will form a bond. A bond is newly formed. Okay. Now one of the unpaired electron will move to this carbon. So as a result of this delocalization or else transfer of electrons, so the newly formed structure will be like this. Okay. So now these two are in conjugation with each other. Okay. So what is happening during this process? The radical or else unpaired electron is shared by both the carbon atoms. So again what happens here also? So again this pair of electron, again it will come here. Out one electron will come here, and this electron also will come here, and this electron will go here, and again this structure will convert into this structure. So like this, these two like this, the electron, this unpaired electron is shared by both the carbons. Okay, unpaired electron is shared by both the carbons. So like this, a delocalization of electron takes place, and such process is said to be conjugation. Okay, and here the conjugation is between the pi bond and atom having unpaired electron. So such type of conjugation is said to be pi bond radical conjugation. So radical means, so maybe any atom or else group of atoms, if it carries only unpaired electron. See, actually radicals are formed during a chemical reaction. So whenever a bond is broken between the atoms, and if the broken bond, see, bond breakage is of two types. Remember, sometimes what happens, so here bond means a pair of electrons. If sometimes what happens, this pair of electrons, they may move to only one atom. One atom will get those two electrons and other atom does not get any single electron also. In that case what happens, so this carbon will get a negative charge and this hydrogen will get a positive charge. Now these are not called as radicals. Simply these are called as ions. Okay, this is called as carbon anion and hydrogen ion or else proton. Okay, so this is one type of bond breakage. Another type of bond breakage is, what happens, so in another type of bond breakage, so the pair of electrons which form a bond, they are shared by both the atoms equally. Okay, that means one electron will come to this carbon and another electron will go to a hydrogen. So such a type of bond breaking is also called as bond fission. FISSION, fission, bond fission. Bond fission, if it is in this way, that means the bonded electron will get one electron to each atom like this. Then such type of fission is said to be homolytic fission. Homolytic fission leads to the formation of radicals. So now it is called as a free radical or else simply radical. So now this is also a free radical. Okay. So now what happens? So here in this type of conjugation, so conjugation takes place between pi bond and a radical. Radical means an atom, if it is carrying an unpaired electron, then that part is said to be radical. Okay. So here, so how the conjugation has taken place, we have learnt. Okay. Right. See now, if you see this one, so there is a radical and a pi bond, but pi bond and radical, it is radical, they are not separated by a single bond. Hence this structure in this molecule does not involve in conjugation. This molecule does not involve in conjugation. Okay, right. So now we will learn the next type of conjugation. Okay, lone pair positive charge conjugation. So the next type of conjugation is the lone pair positive charge conjugation. So in this molecule, if a molecule is having both a positive charge and a lone pair of electrons, one atom is having lone pair of electrons. Okay, in a molecule, if one atom is having lone pair of electrons and another atom is having positive charge on it, and if these two are separated by a single bond, then conjugation takes place. Such type of conjugation, that means delocalization of electrons takes place. Such type of delocalization is said to be lone pair positive charge conjugation. See what happens actually. So here this pair of electrons, they will form a bond, pi bond between this carbon and nitrogen. A pi bond is formed. So what happens now, this carbon, so these electrons are shared by carbon. As a result of this, one carbon will lose its positive charge, and that positive charge is shared by nitrogen, because nitrogen is giving that electron pair. Okay, so as a result of this, what happens, so this positive charge will shift to the nitrogen, it will transfer to the nitrogen. So that means this positive charge is shared by carbon and nitrogen. Okay, so to and fro. So what happens again what happens, so this I mean this pair of electrons will come back to this nitrogen. Again what happened, it will result to the formation of this compound, this structure. Okay, so this one, due to the delocalization of electrons, what happens, this structure and these structures are formed. Okay, so conjugation takes place in such a way. Such type of conjugation is said to be lone pair positive charge conjugation. Suppose if you take this structure here, so there is a positive charge on this carbon and lone pair is present on the oxygen, but the atom having positive charge and the atom having lone pair, they are not separated by a single bond. There are two single bonds. If these two atoms are separated by two single bonds, then no conjugation takes place. So that means conjugation does not occur if such type of arrangement are present. Okay, right. Now we will learn the next type of conjugation. So the next type of conjugation is the seventh type of conjugation. So it is called as cross conjugation. So in such conjugation, there are three groups are present. So for example, here this is one group, this is another group, and this is another group. Here three groups are present. So out of these three, two of which are not conjugated with each other. For example, if this group is present, phenyl group. Okay, this is also another phenyl group. So between these two phenyl groups there is no conjugation, because here double bond is there, single bond, again single bond, and next double bond is present. So after double bond, if single bond is present, then again after single bond it should be double bond. But here these two double bonds, they are separated by two single bonds. Hence that means between the two rings, so that means both the rings are they are not in conjugation with each other. They are not in conjugation with each other. But this ring is in conjugation with this group, carbonyl group. See, look here, a double bond, single bond, and double bond is present. So that means here conjugation takes place between this group and this phenyl group, and even between this phenyl group and even this between this group also there is a conjugation. Okay, so that means this group is under conjugation with this carbonyl group, and even this group is also under conjugation with carbonyl group, but these two phenyl groups, they are not in conjugation with each other. Such a type of conjugation in which three groups are present, and out of three groups only two groups, the two groups which are not in conjugation, they are in conjugation with the third one individually. Okay, they are in conjugation, both of them are conjugation with the third one individual. Okay, such type of conjugation is said to be cross conjugation. So here, so in this compound there are three groups. So this is one group, this is another group, and this is another group. So between this group and this group there is no conjugation, because double bond, if you go in this straightly, in a straight line, so double bond, single bond, and after that single bond is coming, next double bond. So if you go in this direction, there is no conjugation. Suppose if you go in this direction, what happened? Double bond, single bond, and double bond. So that means alternate double bonds are there. So hence conjugation is possible here. And even here also, in this way also conjugation is possible. Double bond, single bond, double bond. But if you go in this way, so double bond, single bond, again single bond, next double bond. So there is no conjugation between these two groups. Between these two groups there is no conjugation, but between this group and this group there is a conjugation, and between this group and this group there is a conjugation. So like this, conjugation can be explained. See here also, so there is a conjugation between between this group and oxygen. So this is called as ether. So there is a conjugation. This group is ether group, and this is. So here conjugation takes place, up to here conjugation takes place. Lone pair electrons will come here, and this pair of electrons will transfer here. So conjugation takes place up to this part, and from oxygen to this part also conjugation takes place. But but these two groups, this group and this group, they do not involve in conjugation, because between these two groups, so there are two single bonds, continuous single bonds. Hence conjugation does not take place. So like this, such type of conjugation in which three groups are involved, but only two groups, between two groups there is no conjugation. Okay, there is no conjugation between the two groups, but with the third group, both the groups individually will show conjugation. Okay, so here this is the third group, and this group individually will show conjugation with this third group, and even this group also will show individually with the conjugation with this third group. But these two groups do not involve in conjugation. Here also these two groups does not involve in conjugation. This group will involve in conjugation with the third group, and even this group also will involve in conjugation with the third group. So like this, in this compound also, so this is carbonyl group and phenyl groups. So this phenyl group, between these two phenyl groups there is no conjugation, but phenyl group will involve in conjugation with the carbonyl group, and even this phenyl group also will involve in conjugation with the carbonyl group. So such a type of conjugation is said to be cross conjugation. Okay, right. Next we will learn about the rules of the resonance. Rules of resonance. So actually we learn about the resonance. What is resonance? Resonance is nothing but a phenomenon of existence of, here one compound. For example, if you take any compound, the structure of the compound or else the properties of the compound cannot be explained completely by a single structure. A single Lewis structure cannot explain the entire properties of a compound. In such case, so there requires more than one structures for a compound to explain its entire properties. All those structures are said to be resonance structures or resonating structures. For example, if you take formamide, what is the formula of formamide? HCONH2. Formamide. So in order to explain all the properties of formamide, okay, no single structure cannot explain the complete properties of formamide. So this is one structure. Okay, this is another structure. This is another structure. So these three are different structures of formamide, Lewis formulas. These three are different Lewis formulas of formamide. Okay, so this structure will explain some of the properties of this formamide, and this structure will explain some other properties, and this structure will explain some other properties. Okay, individually no single structure or else single Lewis formula cannot explain the complete properties of that compound. That means these three structures are necessary to explain the complete properties of this compound. Such structures are said to be resonating structures, and the phenomenon is said to be resonance. Resonance is a hypothetical phenomenon. So these are said to be resonating structures or else contributing structures. They are also called as canonical forms. Canonical forms. And the actual structure cannot be drawn on a paper. Okay, the actual structure cannot be drawn on a paper because in the actual structure there will be flow of electrons. So the flow of electrons should be represented in a single structure, so which is not possible. For example, see these electrons, they will flow. That means this is one structure and this is another structure where the electrons are flown here, and here the double bond. So double bond, there should be one more bond. That bond is the pair of electrons or else pi bond electrons, they are shifted to oxygen atom. As a result of this one, what happens? This oxygen alone gets that electron pair, and hence oxygen gets negative charge and carbon gets positive charge. So this is another structure. Okay, right, this is another structure where the lone pair of electrons, they are shifted to this single bond now it has become a double bond. So the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen, they are shifted to here. So here what happens? So there is a shifting of electrons. So the structure, electrons are moving. So the electrons are delocalized. So we have to represent all the delocalization in a single figure. So it is not possible to draw the entire structure, the real structure. This is called as real structure. Okay, so real structure cannot be drawn on a paper, hence it is, and it is called as a resonance hybrid. It is a resonance, R means resonance. Resonance hybrid is a real structure. Okay, right. So these are said to be contributing structures of this resonance hybrid. So this will explain some of the properties, this will explain some of the properties, and this will explain some of the properties of this resonance hybrid, which is a real structure and which cannot be drawn on a paper. So out of these three structures, one structure may show more properties and the other two structures may show somewhat less properties. The structure which will show more properties, more properties, which will explain the more properties of this resonance hybrid, that structure is said to be more contributing structure. there are various contributing structures which will explain the properties of this particular formamide. Okay, so this is a real structure, but we cannot draw on the paper. Okay, right. So now I mean we got some understanding about the contributing structures. So these are the contributing structures of the real structure. Real structure is called as resonating hybrid, and these are said to be resonating structures simply, or else canonical forms, or else simply contributing structures we may call. Okay, so now, so I mean first we learn some rules. So actually the rules are based on certain questions. So when can be resonance be considered? So under which conditions resonance be considered? So this can be explained by certain set of rules. So first rule is when connectivity is same in all contributing structures. For example, connectivity is same. What is the meaning of connectivity is same? That means same atoms are connected in the same way. So for example, nitrogen. This nitrogen is connected to one hydrogen and another hydrogen and carbon. Okay. So this is one structure. So can I call, if I see this structure, in this structure this nitrogen is connected to only one hydrogen and carbon. But here this nitrogen is connected to two hydrogens and carbon. Hence these two are not resonating structures. When connectivity is same in all contributing structures. So if these two are, let us consider, if these two are contributing structure, then the connectivity should be same. So this is not having connectivity like this. Now let us consider this one. So this nitrogen is connected to two hydrogens and one carbon, and this carbon is considered connected to one oxygen and hydrogen. So here also carbon is connected to one oxygen and hydrogen. Now if you see this structure, in this structure also the nitrogen is connected to two hydrogens and one carbon, and the carbon is connected to one oxygen and one hydrogen and this nitrogen. So that means here in these three cases the connectivity of atoms is same, but here the connectivity of atoms is not same. Hence this is not a resonating structure of these three. So these three are resonating structures. And one more thing, only the electron position may vary. So here the position of electrons, if you consider, so there is a double bond between carbon and oxygen. So that means two pairs of electrons between carbon and oxygen. So here what happens, a pair of electrons is shifted to oxygen like this. So this pair. Okay, so that means electron position may vary, but the connectivity should be same. So that is the thing. Okay, so these three are said to be having same connectivity of atoms, but their electron position may varying, because here in this structure if you see nitrogen, it is having lone pair. Here also nitrogen is having lone pair, but here carbon, between carbon and oxygen double bond is there. Between carbon and oxygen only single bond is there. So because electron pairs, here the pi bonded electron, they are shifted to oxygen. That means position of electron is changed. Okay, so change in position of electrons is allowed, but the connectivity should be same. Here also, so here the lone pair of electrons present on the nitrogen, it is shifted to between nitrogen and oxygen, nitrogen and carbon. So here a double bond is formed because of this lone pair of electron is added to between nitrogen and carbon. So hence another additional bond is formed. So like this, the position of electrons is changed, may change, but the connectivity should be same. So then only they are said to be resonating structures. Okay, so hence in this case resonance is considered, but this is not a resonating structure. Okay, so here resonance is not considered. So this is first point, first rule. Now if you see the second rule, each contributing structures have same number of electrons. So here number, here position of electrons may vary. Position of electrons may vary, but have same number of electrons. Number of electrons should be same. and same net charge, same number of electrons and same net charge should be present. Okay, for example, if you consider this nitrogen, so the number of electrons, particularly valence electrons. So these two, how many valence electrons are there in this molecule? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And even oxygen, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 valence electrons are there. Okay. Now if you consider this structure also should have same number of electrons. Let us see. 1, 2. Every bond has 2 electrons. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Here also 18 electrons are there. And here also 18 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So in all these 3 structures, connectivity is same and same number of electrons. Okay. Now same net charge should be present. See, net charge. So here what is the overall charge? 0. Because there is no charge. Here one positive charge and one negative charge. So cancel. So what is the net charge on this molecule? 0. And even in this molecule also, in this structure also, the net charge is 0. So that means same net charge is present, same connectivity of atoms and same number of electrons, but position of electrons may vary. Hence these 3 are said to be resonating structures. If you consider this structure, so here nitrogen is present. Okay, nitrogen is present. If you see, if you calculate the same number of electrons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So even this structure is also having 18 electrons and the same connectivity of atoms. So nitrogen is connected to 2 hydrogens and 1 carbon. In all these cases also it is like that only, and carbon is connected to 1 oxygen and 1 hydrogen. So here also it is same, and even the same number of electrons, same connectivity, but what is happening? So here the net charge is -2. There are 2 negative charges, -2, whereas in all these cases the net charge is 0, net charge is 0, net charge is 0, but here the net charge is -2. Hence this is not a resonating structure to any of these 3. So like this resonance, so that means this is not in resonance with these 3 structures. Okay, so in this under these circumstances only resonance is considered. That means there is a resonance between these 3 structures, and this structure, it is nowhere related to it is not a resonance structure to these 3 structures. So when can resonance be considered? So resonance can be considered under certain conditions, like the connectivity of atoms should be same, the position of electrons may vary, and all the structures should have same number of electrons and same net charge. So these are the conditions. And one more condition. Okay, and we will see one more condition. Each contributing structure have same number of unpaired electrons. Third rule. Each contributing structures should have same number of unpaired electrons. Same number of each contributing structure should have same number of unpaired unpaired electrons, same number of paired electrons, same number of unpaired electrons or same number of paired electrons. Paired electrons may be lone pair or maybe bond pair. So maybe lone pair or bond pair. Okay. See. So that means they should have same number of unpaired electrons. Same number of unpaired electrons. If you consider these three structures, so here there is no unpaired electron. Here also no unpaired electrons. No unpaired electrons. Okay, here also no unpaired electrons, but here the net charge is -2, whereas the net charge in all these three cases it is 0. Let us consider another structure. So, this is unpaired electron. This is also unpaired electron. If you see the connectivity of atoms, it is same. So it is similar to this one. And the number of total number of electrons 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So same number of electrons, same connectivity of atoms, and same net charge. What is the net charge? 0. So in all these cases also it is like this. So what is the overall net charge? Here one positive and one negative. Hence net charge is 0. So same connectivity of atoms like this, same number of electrons and same net charge. But here there are two unpaired electrons, whereas in these structures there is no unpaired electron. Hence this structure is not in resonance with these three structures. These three structures are resonating structures, hence they are separated by double-headed arrow. But this cannot be separated with these structures by double-headed arrow. I cannot put a double-headed arrow like this because this is not a resonating structure. Why? Though it is having same connectivity of atoms, same number of electrons, total number of electrons, and the same net charge, like all these things, but here there are two unpaired electrons, whereas these structures they are not having unpaired electrons. Hence this is not a resonating structure with these three. Okay, so like this, third rule says that each contributing structures should have same number of electrons, same number of unpaired electrons. So if this structure is having 0, then the other resonating structure also should have 0 unpaired electrons, and this structure also should have 0 unpaired electrons. So here there are two unpaired electrons. Hence this structure it is not a resonating structure to these three. Okay, they should have same number of unpaired electrons. So here this is not a resonating structure. So rule 3 says like this. Okay, next rule 4. See, rule 4 says that the contributing structures the contributing structures in which octet rule is exceeded, the contributing structures in which octet rule is exceeded, okay, they do not contribute, is exceeded, particularly for second row elements. What are second row elements? That means second period elements. What are second period elements? Beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. Okay, so these are second period elements. So here the second row elements, particularly if second row elements are present, so in the structures, then then those contributing structures, in the contributing structures, octet rule should not be exceeded. That means there should not be more than 8 electrons on the second group element in that molecule. Okay, so let us see an example for this. Suppose these contributing structures in which octet rule is exceeded for second group elements, then the conjugation, I mean here then those structures are said to be those structures are not resonating structures. The structures are not resonating structures. Those structures are not resonating structures. For example, I am rubbing it off. Let us take nitromethane. What is the formula of nitromethane? Actually, I am drawing the Lewis structure of nitromethane. So this is methyl group. Okay, and a nitro. So this is nitro group. So actually there should be coordinate covalent bond. So if it is coordinate covalent bond, so I can write the coordinate covalent bond like this also. So now what happens? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Okay. Now 1, 2, 3, 4. So here this pi bond may shift here. Okay, so that pi bond may shift there, or else so here shifting of electrons may take place. Okay, so that it forms like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Okay, here what happens? So this bond will this pair of electrons will shift here, so that only 4 electrons will left over here, and a double bond is formed. So now here nitrogen will get positive charge because this pi bond is shifted here, so this oxygen gets negative charge on it. So shifting is taking place from here to here. So that means this structure is formed. Okay, and suppose if this structure is this pair of electron is shifted here, these electrons, if they flow here to form a structure like this, a double bond with oxygen with 2 lone pairs, and here a double bond with oxygen having 2 lone pairs. So now if you consider this structure, in this structure, this is nitrogen is a second period element. So it is a second row element, that means second period element, and this nitrogen is having how many electrons? So there is a double bond. How many electrons count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 electrons on nitrogen. So nitrogen is a second row element or second period element, and it is exceeding octet rule. Hence this structure is not a resonating structure with these two. I cannot draw a double-headed arrow like this. Okay, because it is not a resonating structure. Why? Because in this structure, the second period element nitrogen, it is having electrons more than octet. Such a structure is not a contributing structure, hence it is not a resonating structure. So in this case, this is not considered as considered for resonance. So when can resonance be considered? So here in this case, it is not, the resonance is not considered. These two are in these two cases, resonance can be considered. So like this, certain rules. So we have learnt 4 rules Okay, some more rules are left over, so we'll discuss about those rules in the next video. Okay, right.